Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Samson, and I am out here sitting on my porch in beautiful Colorado. And today I am going to be making my Pittsburgh Steelers official 3 round mock draft. Again, I'm using the Pro Football Network mock draft simulator. This is for my grandma and grandpa in Pittsburgh have wanted me to do the Steelers. So we'll get into it. This is a really awesome, exciting draft for Pittsburgh. They have 4 draft picks in the top 3 rounds, as we can see here. Pick number 20, pick number 51, 84, and number 98. The Pittsburgh Steelers sit at number 20, which is a position in this draft where there is some really available players left, I would assume. So I don't see them likely trading up to go get somebody. I could see a potential trade down. Like you saw in my Green Bay Packers video, I had the Packers come up and take this Pittsburgh Steelers 20 overall spot. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to have the Pittsburgh Steelers just take the best available player at number 20, and we'll go from there. As we can see, I'm just going to take a quick note right here. We're looking at the team needs according to Pro Football Network, which I think is really, really accurate. It is offensive tackle, a center/guard, a corner, a wide receiver, and a safety. All right, I'm going to hit resume draft here and see what happens. So you can see I went on the fast mode for this one. I went a little bit faster than I usually do. Okay, looking at some trade offers here. Just one from the Cardinals. I don't love the value here, so I'm going to reject this. So I'm looking at this board here. A bunch of the players that I have kind of mocked them in the past look to be gone. That would be Amarius Mims. Fashanu just went. Latham went already. So a lot of these tackles that I was looking for the Pittsburgh Steelers to pick up are already gone, unfortunately. But I do see this name, Graham Barton, right here. He is a really awesome, versatile lineman from Duke. He can play tackle for you. He can play guard for you. He can play center. He can play all 5 positions on the offensive line. I think that's a really solid option. And the other name that I'm looking at here is Clemson corner Nate Wiggins. I don't love the value for Nate Wiggins here at 24 because I believe that he is maybe a second corner option more than kind of your primary guy. And I think if you're going to take a corner this high at 20, it probably would mean that Quinyon Mitchell or Terrion Arnold are still on the board. So I'm going to go ahead and take Barton here. It might be a little bit of a reach, but I think this is the best positional pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Graham Barton goes to Pittsburgh at 20, and now we have another pick pretty early in the second round here, 19th pick in the second round, maybe 20th, 51st overall. So I'm looking here. We have 2 trade offers, one from the Packers to go down to 58 and grab a third next year. I think I'm just going to decline trades for now. I'm looking here, and we have some availability at the offensive guard and center position. The thing that's really interesting in this draft is that I probably wish that I would have waited to take a center or a guard, but because we did take Graham Barton, I think that's probably unlikely. So I'm looking at our other positions in need here. Obviously, corner still here because we passed on the Clemson kid, Nate Wiggins, in the first round. So see this name, Max Melton here. I really like him. I've scouted him a lot because of his Green Bay Packer connection, obviously, with his brother Bo. But the corner that I like a lot better is this Ennis Rakestraw. He's from Missouri. We'll come over here and look at his tangibles. 5'11", 183 pounds. Good RAS. I think he's just really solid. His tape looks good. He's willing to tackle, which I think is really important in a Pittsburgh-style defense. So at 54, I'm going to take. At pick number 51 here for Pittsburgh, I'm going to take the 50th best available player on Pro Football Network. That is Ennis Rakestraw, cornerback, Missouri. So Pittsburgh now has a little bit of a gap here. They don't pick until late in the third round. But they have 2 picks here coming up. So we are going to get to see some more names. Another notable thing that I think Pittsburgh will probably address at some point is that wide receiver position. So I'm just going to reject these 2 trades. They don't really help me that much right now. This would be a trade that I would be really interested in doing in real life, just because this 141 this year for a 5th next year. But I'm just going to reject it for now. Okay, so this is the type of board that I'm really excited about seeing. So We already have our offensive lineman taken care of. We already have our cornerback taken care of, and I think this is kind of maybe a splash pick for Pittsburgh. Obviously, Deontay Johnson gone. He was probably the second option at wide receiver, so they're really looking to complement George Pickens here in the passing game. And I see this name right here, Devontae or just Tez Walker is what he goes by out of North Carolina. He's a really, really solid receiver. I have him mocked or in my big board as one of my top 15 receivers available in this draft. So 84, this is really, really good value for Pittsburgh. As we can see here, 6'1", 193 pounds, great, great, great measurables. 9.76 raw athletic score, about as high as you're going to see. Obviously, the raw athletic score does involve your height and weight, so 6'1", 193 to complement really good strength and really good pass catching ability. Just a really smooth receiver, kind of in general. I think he's a relatively underrated guy just because of how loaded this receiver class is in general. So this is a pretty easy pick for me. I'm going to go Devontae Walker, wide receiver, North Carolina. Okay, Pittsburgh coming up here again shortly. Pick number 98. And I think we've done really a pretty awesome job so far. I think this board has shook out according to plan, which is awesome. All right, so we are back to our pick. Got a couple interesting things I'm looking at here. I know we did already take an offensive lineman here at Graham Barton, but Pittsburgh needs a lot of help, especially bringing in two new quarterbacks. Russell Wilson, not as mobile as he used to be, we know that. So having some offensive linemen and having too many offensive linemen is not a problem in this draft. I say that mainly because I think the direction I'm going to take this pick is this player right here, Mr. Kieran from Yale. He's an offensive tackle that a lot of people are really high on. Obviously, his raw athletic score here, this is just because he didn't compete in all the combine drills, so we're not exactly sure. He looks like a fine athlete on tape. Obviously, the Yale background, so we know he's going to be a smart guy. You can plug him into any system. 6'5", 323, just really a pro build. So I'm looking here based on team needs and stuff. We have a corner here, Josh Newton from TCU, but I think because of the Rakestraw pick, that's kind of already addressed. I don't see any super flashy receivers that I think I would be willing to take here in the top 3 rounds. So I think my final pick here is pretty obvious. And I'm going to take Kieran Amedajile from Yale. I probably butchered his last name. I don't think I've heard someone say it yet. So hopefully come draft night when he gets drafted, I'll hear how to say it correctly. All right, and last 2 picks here. That wraps up our Pittsburgh Steelers mock draft 2024. With our first round pick, we go functional. We take offensive center. He's listed as a center, but can really play any spot on your offensive line. Just a plug-and-play starter, Graham Barton from Duke. Great value for Pittsburgh there at 20. 51, I addressed the cornerback position with Ennis Rakestraw. Again, just really fundamentally sound guy. Going to play probably from week 1. Really good speed, really good size, good weight. Just a pretty stereotypical corner that I think is going to be great in that Pittsburgh defense. Then we went with our splash player here at number 84. We took Tez Walker, the athletic monster, out of North Carolina at wide receiver. And rounding out our top 100 at pick number 98, we went with the young offensive tackle from Yale. All right, that is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I will probably make a couple more teams today, send those out, and I hope you enjoy this one, and I will